So I watched the new season. We got a new season of Bridgerton, y'all. Don't worry, this is not going to be spoilers. But what I always do after I've watched a new season, I'll go back and start it over from the beginning. And so right now I am at the part where we are unfolding the story of the Viscount Anthony Bridgerton. And we're figuring out what made him how he is. People see him as hard-hearted, but really he doesn't want to be so loving and cause someone to love him so much that his absence destroys them and crushes them the way that he watched it do to his mother when he was a boy, when he was a teenager. So if you've seen the series already, you already know the story. I don't got to run it down for you. If you haven't seen it, girl, what you waiting for? Go watch it. We stand Queen Charlotte, but that's not the point. He said to his mother, you were barely there when he passed, when he left, when he died. But I'm cursed to remember every single second. I could never be the cause of such pain. And so he was saying that love would never be a part of his marriage, right? He was hiding from love because he was traumatized by his mother's grief and her tremendous loss of the man she said was the air she breathed. And I was just thinking about the fact that trauma is a part of life. It's a part of life even in the best circumstances, even with the best intentions, even with love and devotion and family in a healthy and good way where we're prosperous, there's no lack, we love each other, we're not dysfunctional, we're healthy and good. There can still be a loss that creates a trauma that is so deeply impactful that it reshapes and reformats the person you are. And that's something that the mother was saying to Anthony. She was saying, you were such a loving and vibrant boy, always with a joke or a kind word to say. And she said, you changed after your father died. And then he told her, listen, you left us. You were so hurt. I could never be the cause of such pain. And she had to sit with that her falling into grief and focusing only on her own heartbreak hurt her children. She didn't mean to. The father didn't mean to die by a bee sting. None of this meant to happen, but it happened. So even in the best circumstances with the best of intentions, there can be trauma because trauma is a part of life. So how much more so that we share the world with people who don't mean well, who aren't healed and aren't whole and aren't healthy and don't introspect and they don't do any work to heal. They go and escape with drugs and sex, weird sex, you know what I mean? And then they become abusive. And then they become Diddy. And the kind of trauma that one traumatized person can unleash on multiple generations of people, including, unfortunately, his own children. This is why healing is so important, and this is why I do what I do as an energy healer priestess. It really is my honor, and this is why, I'm always open to you booking consultations with me if you so desire. The link is always in my bio. It's right there. You can't miss it. And it really is my honor to serve women in this capacity because when you heal a woman and when you educate a woman, you heal and educate a nation. It's important, but the men gotta heal too. And that's what we're watching happen in Bridgerton season 2. We're watching the Viscount heal his disconnect from love because he's afraid to love someone and be loved by someone because he doesn't want the pain he saw his mother go through. And so he divorced himself from love completely and threw himself into, the brothels and the gambling halls and, flitting about and doing this and that. And now he's wrestling with marriage for duty instead of marriage for love. And it's important watching this healing journey for the mother and for him as he blossoms into connecting with Miss Sharma and going on to be blissfully in love, as you see in season 3, child. If you ain't seen season 3, I highly recommend you do. But that ain't the point. And if you ain't seen season 2, I highly recommend you do. And that is the point. Once we work on our healing, even before we get to there, let me just step back. Before we get to the point of healing, you're going to be afraid, terrified even of good things, Good things will scare you because you're traumatized. And you're so used to trauma that You rather stay in what you know. You're comfortable in the brokenness. You're comfortable in the hurt. You're comfortable in the stagnancy of what trauma has formed you into. And you're afraid to shift out of that into your true self, your true you, who you would have always been had not that traumatic event happened to you. Sit with that for a moment. This is why I say opt out. There's a lot of shit we can opt out of. You can opt out of trauma too. As a specialized trauma healer, energy healer, I'm a living witness. I've walked this path myself. I don't just talk it, baby. I live it. And it would be my honor to serve as priestess and helping you walk in your journey too.